All right, everybody, welcome back. It is Monday, November 11th. Let's go ahead and get into our Monday Bitcoin analysis. And I believe the 4 hour, one of the last 4 hour candle just closed as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's happened over the weekend and at the end of last week. This is our weekly chart, nothing on it, bear, just like I always start. And to me, this is kind of looking like it's kind of trying to make some kind of bull flag here. Somewhat, I mean, it would be kind of an extreme bull flag, but bull flag or descending wedge, it looks like something like that is going on. If you actually measure the bottom of this candle to the top here, we haven't breached our 618. We haven't breached our golden zone here yet. We haven't even tapped it. So the bottom of our golden zone would be here, just about 84.20, and we haven't touched that yet. So I'm pretty hopeful that this is probably where we're going to be for a while. I've got longs laddered all the way down to about $8,200. So I do expect a little bit more downside to this before we start heading upwards. On our weekly chart, if we take a look at the Ichimoku cloud, we are trading directly in the Ichimoku cloud, and we haven't exactly tested this Kinjinsen line yet. So I think that that's a positive sign. I think that this is going to end up being very strong support here. So I don't think that we're going to end up seeing lower than like about $8,200 on a retrace here from this. So if that holds, that's going to be a very good sign. If we do break below that, my stop loss for something like that for a longer term trade would be probably just below our 55 EMA here on the weekly chart. If we take a look at the daily, we did break out of this triangle that we had. And again, we used the support. If you see, we're actually right here at the top of these candles right now. This has been very strong support in here. So I could actually almost take another one of these boxes and move it down to here. It's a very strong support area. Down here, it's a little. This is a very strong support area. Longer here. All right. So we do have a lot of support here. This is also where our 200 line, our 200 EMA is on the daily chart. We actually did just touch that. So I think that that's a really good sign for right now, at least. It doesn't look, this is going to end up being, unless we see some bullish momentum today, which I don't think we're going to. Most markets are closed today in the United States in observance of Veterans Day. So if we do see some bullish momentum and make this not a bearish engulfing candle, then that would be a really good sign. But for right now, this is looking like it's going to turn into just and close as a bearish engulfing candle. And I would expect a possible further downside to this on the daily chart. If we're looking at our indicators, we're seeing that we are losing momentum here. We're starting to go over, it looks like maybe in another day or two, if we don't see a bullish move, then our oscillator right here might turn over to the bearish side, which would not be good. But our single line momentum indicator up here, we're really just sitting right in the middle, right at about 50. So that could really go either way. This is just kind of stagnant right here. We had a little bit of a down move on this big candle, and then we turned over sharply, with this candle here. So that's pretty much what's going on right now. Once we dropped through here, if you notice where my range lines are, let me go ahead and turn the cloud off just to clean it up real quickly. If you notice, after we had that big drop and we dropped out of the triangle and this bottom range line that I had, we actually came up and we closed just above it. Unfortunately, we could not hold that, and we ended up coming down a lot further. So now we're testing our next line of support right here. So I'm actually going to end up having to probably extend these lines over. It looks like we're probably going to be dealing with this range for quite some time, probably longer than we were dealing with this whole business over here. So I think we're going to be here for a while. If we're looking at the 12-hour chart here, let me turn the Ichimoku back on. Looking at the 12-hour chart, we did just get a daily close yesterday, or our last 12-hour candle right here. We did close below the cloud. That was not really surprising to me. The cloud here was really, really thinning out. Normally when that happens, it's just a period of indecision. So I was expecting that to happen. And other than that, the only thing that is starting to worry me is that we're getting further and further away from our 200 EMA and our baseline on the Ichimoku cloud on the 12-hour chart. So that is a little cause for concern, but like I said, I am expecting more downside to this. Looking at the 4-hour chart, obviously, if we're below the Ichimoku on the 12-hour, then we're also below it on the 4-hour, which we are. And again, 200 EMA is also going to be resistance along with our 100 and our 50. It does look here like on the 4-hour chart, we are going to be coming into a bearish cross here of our 50 and our 100 EMAs. So I'm going to be paying attention to that very closely. Other than that, we really haven't been doing too much. It looks like I think our next line of support is probably going to be our old the top of our old range over here. So I've been keeping a very close eye on this line. We are about, from our lowest wick, which was about 8,600, 8,460. So just like a little under $200. So, we're definitely in range to be testing this now. Besides that, we have been getting higher lows. This is something I've been paying attention to also on the 4-hour chart. If you notice here, we've been getting higher lows on our momentum indicator while we've been getting lower lows on our price action. So that is bullish divergence, and I do think that we do stand a chance of seeing some kind of bounce here. But like I said, with the markets being, half the markets being open and just Bitcoin or whatever being open today, and the rest of like the Forex markets and the stock market being closed in the United States today, I really don't expect much momentum today. It's probably going to be happening either overnight or when the markets open up tomorrow. So with that said, I do think that on the smaller time frames, we do have the potential to see some kind of a bounce here. And if we look over on the 2-hour chart, you can see that that's already starting to happen. So again, we had a low, now we're getting a higher low. We had a low here and a lower low on price action. So that's definitely bullish divergence, and you can see it playing out here where we're getting kind of on the 2-hour chart. It looks like we're trying to break through right now this little, I guess you could call this like an ascending triangle of sorts, where we've got something like this, and we're just trying to break through this right now. So I think that if we get a close above this on the 2-hour chart, I think that that would be cause for some kind of a small rally here and maybe come up and test maybe like the 8,800 area, or at least over here, like the 8,800 or like 8,750 area, where these lines of resistance are. So we're probably going to test that, and I would personally really like to see a test of this as well. So that's about 88.57, and down here this is about 87.60. So I would like to see a test of those, and we are getting, if this candle closes the way it is right now, we would be getting a bullish close on our momentum indicator on the 2-hour chart. If we're coming down and looking at an even lower time frame here, the 1-hour chart, we're really far away from testing our Kinjinsen and our baseline here on the Ichimoku. The 50 is right up there where the baseline is. So there's very, very heavy resistance in this area, everywhere from 88.50 all the way up to about 88.80 in that $30 zone. There's a lot of heavy resistance here. So that will be the area to watch, because if we start getting closes above that, then we stand a chance of really coming up and testing our 200 again, which is just about where the top of this range line is. So that would be very, very good in my opinion. Or this is the bottom of our previous range. So that would be very good, right at about 9,000. Like I said in my previous videos, if we don't start really working our way up from here and we don't start testing areas of about, like 9,500 or 11,000 and numbers that are way above where we are right now, Bitcoin is going to be in some serious trouble. It's losing momentum quickly. The volume down here is not very good, as you can see. Down here, that's probably why we bounced so hard. There's just no volume here. So we're in this area right now of just really, really risky. It's really risky here. Like, we're either going to break through this and we're going to continue to see some more upside, or this is going to break down and we're not going to have much volume here, and we're going to come down and start testing levels of 8,500 and lower. And if that happens, I do expect 8,500 to break, and I would be expecting to see about $8,200 down here. I do not have my Elliott wave count up on this chart. Go ahead. I mean, that's pretty much all I really have for you guys today. I am going to be updating my count soon once we get some confirmation here of what this move exactly is. So definitely keep an eye out for that. I'm going to post on Twitter for you guys as well. Probably don't need. Probably not going to. This is past my stop loss. Yeah, like I said, that's pretty much all I really have for you guys today. We broke out of the triangle, and all through here, we just have like really, really low volume. That's why every time that we're in this range, we see really big wicks up and really big wicks down. We did that twice now in just a matter of, like a couple days, a day or two or whatever. In this area right here where there's very, very little volume, we get very, very big wicks. So I am expecting that if we do see about 8,800 or so, that we will push up higher to see, and to be testing, these $9,000, $9,200 areas again, which would be very good. So we did it once and we just couldn't hold support and we broke down. So hopefully on our next attempt here, we can actually get a close, not only above 9,000, but, some kind of indication of really good bullish momentum where, we're going to see a rise here. Again, on the 4-hour chart, we do have bullish divergence, so that's something I'm watching out for. You can't really see that on the 12-hour chart. You can if you zoom in, I guess, a little bit. A little more obvious if you zoom in here. Oh, it's really not going to let me draw on the chart. Are you guys seeing this? I'm not crazy, right? What's going on? Okay, well, I mean, we've got a low, we've got a higher low here, and it's looking like it's pivoting. So, I mean, it's possible on the 12-hour chart, but it's very, very slight, but it is there. So we'll have to just see what happens. Right now, this is not very telling for me. This is just kind of like crappy price action here on the 12-hour chart. It's not very convincing for me. And especially I will be looking for a bullish turnover on this oscillator. So definitely check out the edge.org website. All of those links are in the description below. We have software that we just came out with that is finished with testing, that works now with the Binance exchange for all of our alt signals in the group and everything like that. More information is on app.edge.org if you'd like to sign up and take a look at that. That is included with our memberships to our Edge group. So definitely check that out. If you have more questions, always feel free to DM me on Twitter or on Discord. All of my handles and my emails are in the links below if you want to reach out for me. And as usual, if you want more information about private education, one-on-one stuff like that, I have a link to my Patreon as well down in the description below. Enjoy the rest of your week. Happy trading.